guys, Skinny Pigs 1. So here I am with Willie. He needs to get his medication, and I thought I would give you some tips and tricks and pointers for giving your guinea pigs medication. So people always comment when I do videos showing it that my guinea pigs take it so easily. So my number one rule is get yourself comfortable and get your guinea pig comfortable. So get them onto your lap, give them some snuggles, and for yourself, take a deep breath and relax. Just like doing introductions, if you're stressed out and freaking out, I swear the guinea pigs pick up on that. So if you stay relaxed, they're going to stay a lot calmer. So definitely some snuggles are the best idea first, just to get them prepped. Some guinea pigs are going to be more welcoming to letting you slip a syringe in their mouth than others. So some, just holding the syringe in front of their mouth, they're going to open and take it. Other ones are going to fight you a little bit. So the trick for them is, remember that if you're trying to put it in the front of their mouth, their teeth are there, it's going to be blocked. So slipping it into the side of their mouth, there is a gap where there are no teeth. That's where you're going to want to go. So you slip it right here in the side. See, he doesn't really like that one too much. It tastes funny. But you slip it in the side and then kind of gently push it back just a bit so that you know it's inside. He likes this one. So you see, he just grabs onto it. But if you're putting it right into the side of their mouth, he's a super easy guy to show. So he took all of his medications like a champ. So another thing you can do is, say you're giving your pig, let's say they need antibiotics for the next couple weeks. As soon as they're done their medication, give them a treat so that they associate this whole experience with something positive, and they're going to know that, hey, after I take this medication, I'm getting something tasty, so they're going to look forward to it, let you get it done. So Willie here, he gets a joint support tab after his. He's a really good boy for taking his. Other pigs, if they're sometimes they're wiggling their head back and forth and it's really hard to slip the syringe in, you're going to have to gently hold their head still. They're not going to like it, but it's only for 2 seconds. Hold it still just long enough for you to slip the syringe in the side and squish the stuff in. If you're giving a medication that's a large quantity, so for Apple, when she was on an antifungal, it was 1 entire mil, and she didn't want anything to do with it. She hated it. So what I had to do is hold her head still, slip it in, just squished out like maybe 0.2 of a mil at a time. So I'd squish a teeny bit in, let go, let her swallow, you know, just pet her and encourage her and stuff like that. And then I do it again and just put another little bit in. Because if you're trying to put too much in and they don't want it, they're going to let it dribble out of their mouth just like a little kid. So if you have a lot to go, just take your time. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. Just put as much in at a time as they will take. It might take you 5 minutes to get all their medications done. But if you just relax and take your time, it's much better than trying to squish it all in, having it come out of their mouth, fall onto your lap, and then you've wasted medication, or then you're not sure how much they actually got in their mouth, so then you're not sure if you should be giving them more. So that's the general idea, is just get them comfortable, be relaxed yourself, take your time. If it'll only take a little bit at a time, just do little shots in the mouth and then give them a treat. Some of the piggies I don't even have to take out of the cage. I think it really, really helps if giving medications isn't seen as anything scary to them. If the whole experience is very jarring and nerve-wracking, then sometimes just taking out a syringe and holding it near their mouth, they're going to freak out. So I always try to make it a very positive experience. So Bullseye's an example. I can just hold the syringe in front of his face and he takes it. I don't even have to pick him up or anything. He just takes it from right in his cage. Willie does for everyone except the glucosamine. I don't think he likes the flavor of whatever that's mixed with. But the rest I just hold in front of his face and he'll take it. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. We'll just watch Willie eat. Oops. He's such a sweetie. So I guess while Willie's eating, that's just the heater just came on. I'll answer some questions people had. So Willie is blind. He had his one eye removed when he was a year old. What actually happened was he was taken into a vet clinic from his very first family. I'm his third family. Very first people decided they didn't want to treat his eye infection. It got so bad he needed it removed. So at the vets they said just put him to sleep. So he was only a year old. So the vets had them sign him over to them. They neutered him and removed his eye. And he was going to be sent to Piggle's Rescue. And then his next family took him in and kept him. So that's the family I got him from. So they had him for another 5 years. And then they were moving overseas and couldn't take him with them. So that's why he came here. So in the time as he aged, his other eye did go blind. You'll notice it's quite large and you can see right through it, and there is whites. I don't even know, it looks like a white clump of something. I think it was his cataract somehow has fallen down because it kind of floats around. It's kind of a very odd looking eye. So he is completely blind. He has a great sense of smell and he hears perfectly fine. He does have some arthritis, so he gets medication for that. He's pretty good though for moving around, and he has had cysts. He had one, I remember his mom showing me, he had one on his head and a really large one on his hind end that he had removed. He has a couple small ones right now that are no big deal. So he is a cyst type of pig, just kind of like Kelvin was. And the other thing is what we found out not long ago, that he has the vestibular issue, which is kind of like a vertigo. So we're still dealing with that, but he's such a determined piggy that even though he falls down sometimes, he gets right back up and keeps on going. So I've definitely been trying to keep his cage very even, very level, not too many pads, because it seems to be the trouble area if he steps off of something that's just even a tiniest bit higher than the original liner, he'll tumble over. But he does such a good job, and he's such a sweetheart. I've really bonded well with him. All I have to do is hold my hand in front of his nose so that he can smell that it's me, and then he lets me pet him. He loves ear rubs. He's just a really sweet soul, and he absolutely adores Nanaimo. He's giving me little nips, so I think he must have to go pee. I'm going to put him back in the cage. Bye, guys. Okay, so I just put him back in, and he needed a drink. Usually I find all guinea pigs give you hints that they want to be put back, and it's definitely light nips that have always been the sign for me. So his cages, I've changed it. I used to have some pads where he ate his hay and pads where he was drinking. I took those away because he just tumbles on those. So he has 2 layers of liner because I want it to be nice and squishy. So this is all flat except for where his vet bed is. That's where I put his bed on. So he still has the cuddle sack type bed, and he sleeps in there so squished, and I think this vet bed gives him even extra cushion when he's sleeping. So this is the only ledge that he has, and so far so good. Because it was the pads where he had his hay and where his water bottle, sometimes he would step just off the side and that would make him tumble over. So far this setup has worked better. I had to stop putting extra pads areas. It's just kind of been a learning experience. I've never had a piggy who had the vestibular issues and is wobbly walking. He's getting a lot better. I think either it's getting better or he's just learning to cope better. So I'm not 100% sure. He definitely moves slower than when he first came here, so I think he still is a bit dizzy, but he seems to understand that he just needs to walk a bit slower. He's over there doing his little chatters because sometimes he likes to see if Nanaimo's over there. But yeah, so far so good for little Willie.